So somebody asked me a question on one of those platforms. He asked me, he said, you are saying there is no fuel subsidy, but the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, came out on national television to say that after many months of denying, though, he came out on national television to say that the federal government is going to pay up to or over 5.4 trillion for fuel subsidy in 2024, and that in fact the federal government paid 3.6 trillion naira for fuel subsidy from May 2023 to December 2023, half year, 3.6 trillion. Let's not forget that Buhari claimed they paid 4.2 trillion from January to June of 2023. So 4.2 trillion, 3.6, that's about 8 trillion naira for fuel subsidy in 2023. And then the person was asking me, said, if the Minister of Education came out on national TV to admit openly that fuel subsidy is back, and you are saying that there is no fuel subsidy, why should we believe you over the Minister of Finance? That's the question they asked me. And I know that some of you may have that question. So I will gladly oblige you an answer. And it's a simple answer. I will tell you not to believe the Minister of Finance for two reasons. Don't believe the Minister of Finance when it comes to tell you that fuel subsidy is back. Don't believe him for two reasons. Number one, the Minister of Finance, the federal government, the NNPC, all of them have been denying this fact or this statement or this issue for many months. Remember when Tinubu said fuel subsidy is gone? That was May 29th, 2023. From that time till December, they kept increasing the pump price of fuel in the name of we have removed fuel subsidy and market forces. You know, initially was 420, later went to 500, later went to 600 because they said, oh, market forces, devaluation of the naira and all that. So we didn't hear anything about fuel subsidy until December, when IMF came back again to start floating the idea that fuel subsidy is back. January, February, we started hearing some notable persons, former Governor El Rufai, the former governor of Bauchi, this, that, all manner of people. In fact, oil and gas experts, so-called, now started going on national TV to speak and say, oh, fuel subsidy is back. And in every of those instances, the federal government, the CBN governor, the Minister of Finance, all of them kept denying that no, fuel subsidy is not back, including the NNPC. So, why is it that it is now that the Minister of Finance is now coming to admit what IMF and World Bank have been proposing and pushing since? Why? I'll tell you why. They are admitting it now because they are finally giving in to the demands and the dictates of the IMF and the World Bank, which means that you should be preparing to buy fuel at 1,500 naira per liter. In fact, between 1,500 and 1,800 naira per liter. Don't believe the minister when he says fuel subsidy is back. They are paying. It is not true for that one reason. Number two reason why you should not believe the Minister of Finance is this. The Minister of Finance does not know jack about what goes on in NNPC. He does not. The Minister of Finance does not know anything about what goes on in NNPC. Fact check me. Even CBN Governor Cardoso does not know what goes on in NNPC. EFCC does not know what goes on in NNPC. The only person who can know is Tinubu, being the Minister of Petroleum. because Mele Kyari reports directly to him, not even to the Minister of State for Petroleum. Reports directly to Tinubu. And I can even dare say that even Tinubu does not know exactly what goes on in the NNPC. It is what NNPC tells him that he will know. Why is it that the NNPC, the EFCC, CBN, and the Minister of Finance do not know what goes on why is it that the EFCC, CBN, and the Minister of Finance, why is it that they don't know what goes on exactly in NNPC? Because the transactions of NNPC, two reasons. Number one, because the transaction of NNPC happens outside of Nigeria's financial system. And reason number two, because NNPC also engages in black market sale of crude oil off OPEC. And these monies, when they come in dollars. They are paid into NNPC's account or their broker or agent's account outside of Nigeria's financial system. So unless the president allows an independent, in-depth forensics audit of the NNPC, CBN cannot know, Finance Minister cannot know, EFCC cannot know. Even the Navy self go try. Now wait till they want me, they know, now they go know. So for these reasons, don't believe the Minister of Finance. So better believe it when I tell you that there's no such thing as fuel subsidy. And it's not even my words. It's the DSDP program of NNPC. The information are there before us. Just that we as Nigerians, typical of us, at least majority of us, we're not paying attention. And we should pay attention, because if we fail to pay attention this time, you see, they kept increasing it from 400 to 500 to 600, now to 700. They want to increase it to 1,500 officially. 1,500 to 1,800. That is why he's coming now to admit that they are paying 5.4 trillion, over 5.4 trillion, and that they pay 3.6 trillion in 2023, second half. When Buhari paid 4.2 in 2023, first half. They're just coming to admit it now, after denying many times. They denied it many times. Every time my IMF brought it up before now, they denied it. Why are they accepting now? Are they planning to increase the pump price of petrol? Hell yes. You heard what the NLC president said when they were pushing for minimum wage of 250,000. You heard what he said on national TV. It's not me now. It's the NLC president, Joe Ajero. He said that Tinubu told them that if you want 250 naira per liter minimum wage, 250,000 minimum wage, then I must increase the pump price of petrol. They want to increase the pump price of petrol, so they will come up with lies to tell you fuel subsidy is back, and then the next thing you hear, IMF will not tell them that you need to remove fuel subsidy, and then they will not increase the pump price again and tell you, oh, it's because the fuel subsidy came back. We must become aware so that we can resist it. Technically, they are increasing the price already, because this scarcity that we're experiencing is not natural, it's artificial. And now, filling stations are becoming emboldened to sell at filling stations at 1,000 naira per liter, 1,200 naira per liter, at filling stations. That is price that you're supposed to get in the black market before now, but you're getting it now at filling station. Before you know it, it will go to 1,500. It will go to 1,800, unless we become aware and we take concerted effort to resist it. So answer to your question, should you believe what I'm telling you, or should you believe the finance minister? Don't believe the finance minister. I've given you in-depth analysis. The video is somewhere on this channel. Please look for it and educate yourself. The landing cost of PMS in Nigeria is $0. Convert $0 to naira is 0 naira. NNPC can actually afford to sell fuel at 200 naira per liter, and they will still be making a lot of profit. And Nigerians will live easier. In fact, Nigerians will now be able to breathe. So if Tinubu is serious about the statement he made, about letting the poor breathe and not suffocating them, let him talk to NNPC to review the price of petrol down to 200 naira per litre. NNPC will still be making gain. And life will be easier for Nigerians. Is that not what we want?